Recorded Books presents High Stakes by Danielle Steel, narrated by Dan John Miller. To my darling children, Beatty, Trevor, Todd, Nick, Samantha, Victoria, Vanessa, Max, and Zara. May you always cherish the real prizes in life: truth, honesty, honor, kindness, compassion, love. May you be loved and well treated by those around you. And may you treat them, each other, and yourselves well. May you be forever safe, loved, and blessed. I love you with all my heart, Mom, D.S. Chapter 1. Jane Addison was rushing around her bright, modern, new West Village apartment, getting ready for her first day at a new job. She had gotten her undergraduate degree from UCLA, worked for 2 years at San Francisco Magazine, and then gone back for her MBA at UC Berkeley in their entrepreneurial program. She was 28 years old, born and raised in San Francisco. Her father was one of the most successful venture capitalists in Silicon Valley. Her older sister, Margaret, was 35, climbing the ladder at a rival venture capital firm. Margaret was married with 2 children. Her husband was the CEO of a successful tech startup, which was about to go public. Jane's life was very different from Margaret's, and so were her goals. For the moment, Jane wasn't interested in marriage, and didn't know if she ever would be. Having babies held no particular lure for her. Margaret and her husband had met in business school at Stanford, and they liked their stable married life and their demanding careers. They seemed comfortable and efficient managing both. It looked like a hard juggling act to Jane, a lot of responsibility and too much work. Jane's dream was to own a small magazine one day, or even better, a small publishing house, but she was a long way from achieving her goals. She was just beginning her work life. She had flown to New York to interview for jobs at the major publishing houses in New York, Penguin Random House, Simon & Schuster, Little, Brown, but nothing that interested her and paid decently had turned up. The magazines she had sent her resume to hadn't leapt at the chance to hire her. They told her she was overqualified for the openings they had and figured she probably wouldn't stay long enough to make hiring her worthwhile. In the end, the only offer she'd had that excited her came from a friend of her father's, an old classmate of his at Princeton. Bob Benson owned a literary and entertainment agency, Fletcher and Benson, in New York. They represented actors, producers, directors, and screenwriters on the dramatic side and writers on the literary side. The position she'd been offered was as an assistant to the executive assistant of the number 2 agent on the literary side, a woman named Hailey West. Jane had met her when she was applying for jobs in New York, and she seemed like an intelligent, pleasant, busy woman, committed to the writers she represented. The agency had some very important clients, and it seemed to Jane like a good interim job until the right opportunity turned up, closer to her goals for the future. She still wanted to work at a major publishing house to learn the ropes, but an entry-level job in publishing didn't appeal to her much, and at least a job in a literary and talent agency sounded like fun. Meeting important writers and movie stars would be exciting. The agency was very successful. She'd interviewed with her father's old friend and the heads of both sides of the agency, Francine Rivers for literary and Allie Moore, head of talent. They were both interesting women, and Bob Benson said that if she did well, she could be a literary agent one day. Jane's mother came from San Francisco to help her find the apartment in a big, modern, efficient building in the West Village with a view of the Hudson in what seemed like a friendly neighborhood. The building had a gym, a pool, and a roof garden for the tenants' use. There was good security and plenty of staff, and her parents liked the fact that she'd be safe there. Her mother had been an interior decorator until Margaret was born, and she still enjoyed decorating their homes and doing whatever she could for her girls. She helped Jane get her apartment organized and furnished in record time. Jane was thoroughly enjoying it and grateful to her parents for the comforts they provided. She was well aware that she and her sister had enjoyed benefits all their lives that many of their friends hadn't. They were discreet about it, but Jane realized how lucky she was that she could take whatever job she wanted without worrying about whether or not she could pay her rent. Thanks to her mother, she had
Sample complete. Ready to continue?